Hello, everyone, and welcome Friday evening to the Draft League first round of playoffs, best of three. Today, we will be watching the match between A Little Piece of Heaven and Funny Frogs. Tonight, I'm joined by my fellow caster Sizzle, and we have an analyst, Promech. Yeah, guys, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing just splendidly. I'm excited for my second cast of this season. Promac, how are you feeling about this one?
I'm good. I think these are two very good teams. I was looking over some of their games, and I think it's going to be a pretty good matchup. I'm glad we're able to cast and look at this one.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Like we were told, first game of playoffs. Should be a fun, exciting game. Looking at it just from stats, from what I've seen, the important parts of these games, both for draft and the game, should be the top half of the map. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Statistically, the top laners and junglers are the two best players for both teams, and both bot lanes have been doing pretty poorly, grading around a C, all told. So it should be interesting to see which bot lane ends up winning that battle of underperformers, and which top laner and which jungler can influence the map more.
Yeah, for sure. Promech, what are you looking from each of these teams? You think what do you think their game plan is going to be coming into this match?
Well, I totally agree with Sizzle. From looking at the games, it kind of looks like it is more top lane slash jungle focused, and then their bot lanes are kind of left to a side. Um, because both teams play that same sort of style, and because top lane is one of the harder lanes to sort of play into a counter pick, I kind of expect one of these teams or both of these teams to have to adapt game to game. Both of them probably want to prioritize being on red side and sort of being able to counterpick that top lane while also having a jungler that's not just going to be able to activate top lane, but figure out ways to make the bot lane work. Because if either of these teams can get their bot lane going, it might spell disaster just because you're no longer just counting on your top lane and jungler carry. Now you have another sort of gear that you can shift because both bot lanes, quite frankly, are not super strong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. As a jungler who loves to play bot side, weak side, also I apologize for my camera. I'll fix that. As a jungler who loves to play weak side bot, it just makes the game more interesting in my opinion because top lane is versatile. You can have a split pusher. So if you get someone like a Fiora ahead, right, she can just run down the side lane, force the teams to play a 4v4 the entire game. Or you can pick someone like the Ornn, the Gangplank. That's a little bit more team centric. And now you have this big monster, or even a Darius. You have a big monster, you just run right at the enemy team, force them to fight you, and they just win by stats. That's how top lane ends up working. You've got someone who just outstats their lane opponent and then takes those stats elsewhere and just beats people down. You become the raid boss, as everyone likes to call them.
yeah, for sure. And so, are there any picks that you're especially looking forward to, like from the bot lane? Because if both of these, I think as you mentioned, both of these bot lanes tend to be a little on the weaker side. So, if we're looking for a lot more action from the top side, what sort of picks do you think you'd expect coming from the bot lane?
Prosec, you want to go in first?
You can go first.
Ah, well, top side, Sonic the Rock for Alf. His top three play champions all time are Darius, Aatrox, and Garen. I mean, those guys are beasts. Darius, Aatrox are both pretty heavy in the meta right now. I know Aatrox is one of the better ones. Garen saw a little bit of Worlds play. And then my friends who play top lane told me Darius is being slept on right now. He's actually, they say Giga OP. Me personally, I don't see it, but that's them. On the flip side, Lil Shang is playing a lot more Ornn, Malphite, Kennen. He's team fight centric. So they're two very different styles in the top lane. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think that's going to be one of the main things. They play very different champions.
That's definitely true. And in general, when you play these sort of more aggressive laners or these bruisers, and actually we're live in the draft. It looks like, so I think you guys have to hurry on over there.
Well, yeah. So just for you all who aren't seeing it yet, so far bans coming down against Alf. So by the Frogs, they've banned Kindred, they've banned Diana. So two very strong junglers who like to create leads. They can gank early. They can do a lot of damage themselves. On the flip side, Alf has banned Zyra, so very oppressive bot laner. I know she's been seeing a little bit more play lately on Emerald Plus, just because she is doing it on the Zyra, or sorry, the Ashe comes down as well. So two poke bot laners with utility have been taken away from FF. So this should, force them to play maybe they're trying to force them to more aggro, more carry style bot lane rather than a utility bot style that works better when you're weak side.
On that same point of the Zyra, I just want to note that Crunkfish plays a ton of Zyra. This season alone, he's played like 130 games. So it is a prevalent pick down there. And if you know that your bot lane isn't particularly strong, you don't want to give them opportunities to be in super comfort picks.
Makes sense. Yeah. I mean, one of the big things that I hear a lot of the time is since this isn't pro play, meta isn't as important as comfort. And so banning away that comfort or even playing it for yourself makes it a lot easier for you to succeed because you know the champion. Other people might not. That's why you see more pocket picks. Myself, Diamumu, obviously, I'm a big champion of him. I make my team play him all the time. But Sion, the first pick for FF. So they're doing very beefy front line, good engage as well, but also can split push. So it really kind of checks all the boxes you want out of a top laner.
Yeah, and the other thing too is it gives a lot of versatility because you can go the lethality scion or the tank scion depending on how draft plays out. So you could have um, someone trying to emulate the Baus here, or we could have someone, I guess, more like if you're familiar with what Worlds with Adam, because he played it with with BDS. He's someone who kind of brought it out in Europe, and so I'm wondering if we'll see an interesting level 1 cheese with the Scion sitting in bot bush. But
Could be interesting. But we see
yep,
the Zillion Jinx go over for Little Slice of Heaven. Great choice. Jinx obviously doing really well right now in the meta. The passive now stacking whenever she gets hyper off resets. So with a Zillion to speed her up, she should ideally be able to kite around these fights no problem and just tear it up. So they're definitely looking to build that kind of protect the president comp. And we see the exact opposite with the Ezreal Bard. A lot of safety, a lot of mobility on that side.
yeah, Promech, what are you looking here? How do you envision this bot lane going here, assuming that the Zillion is support?
Well, I would think the Zillion is support. That's another champion that they kind of play down there. I would personally, I think there's a fundamental problem right now with the way Flying Frogs is thinking about the draft. They're playing a little too safe and conceding a bit much. Number one, they've conceded the top lane like counter pick, like go ahead, pick it whenever you want. And then going into the Bard Ezreal, it's kind of saying, well, we're not necessarily going to be able to fight you. We're just going to play it safe and then see what happens in the late game. Whereas the Jinx could theoretically like snowball out of lane, and particularly with the Zillion, who's going to keep her safe by both giving her movement speed in and movement speed out, or giving her the ult. Like that might make that matchup bot lane a little more complicated. Bard leaving the Ezreal is able to farm a little more, so that's the other key factor. If Flying Frog is able to use the Bard efficiently and set up plays elsewhere, while the Ezreal kind of survives the lane, that might be a bonus. But right now, I think Flying Frog is conceding a little bit too much options for Alf's side.
Yeah, got it. And we see now coming out the Graves pick, followed by a Malphite and Shen bans from Little Piece of Heaven, whereas Friendly Frogs have banned Jax, and we'll see what their next ban is. But Sizzle, right now, I find the Malphite ban a bit interesting. Do you think that I don't remember seeing the Malphite pick in the mid laners pool?
I don't
Um,
see it. Yeah, no. Taco Cat doesn't seem to play. Or sorry, not Taco Cat. Eric Bobo. No, I think he's jungling. So it could be one of those things. I know Eric Bobo is going to be jungling today for the Friendly Frogs, and so him switching out of the mid lane where he typically plays could change things up. The Malphite is interesting. We see the Scion first pick, obviously. I guess they're thinking it could be flex either mid, jungle, or top. Playing tanks in mid lane isn't the worst thing in the world because it's really hard to kill them. And so, or you could even go Malphite mid, like you were suggesting, and then just try to one shot the Jinx being full AP. So it's not the worst ban in the world because Malphite is one of the best threats to a hyper carry comp because he's undodgeable pretty much. I mean, even flashing him, yeah, you can do it quick enough, but it's once every 5 minutes, and his ult's on like a 45-second cooldown post level 11. So I don't mind the ban. The Shen is interesting though. I'm not sure what their plan is right now. My only concern with Heaven's comp is they're lacking like a go-in button. A Soul is their best bet to kind of move forward and drop the Skies Descend. But that's really it, and it's really easy to dodge for an Ezreal Bard and then Pantheon who can all either get out of the way or avoid the damage.
Is Gummy Boy playing for Funny Frogs today? Because I know Eric Bub was moving to the jungle. I'm just
Yep,
trying to
Gummy
figure
Boy
out.
is their mid laner, yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
So because the ban on Lashan and the Malphite is very interesting. I would expect that if you think maybe that the mid laner is going to play that tank front, but with the Sion up, I think it's kind of a wasted ban. On Elf's side, picking the Aurelion Soul and then just letting them kind of pick everything else is interesting. I think they just feared that the Sion was going elsewhere.
Right, because the Scion could, in theory, at least be flexed jungle, top, or mid. And I guess in some cases it could be flex support, but with the Bard pick, I'd imagine that would not be the case. But yeah, so we've rounded out the draft then with an Aurelion Soul for a little piece of heaven, followed by the Pantheon pick and the Kennen picks for Friendly Frogs. And then the Aatrox last pick. So I guess that's how we finish up draft. So coming, I guess, out of draft now, um, what do you think your predictions will be here?
Personally, I would be shocked if a Little Slice of Heaven loses this game. I think they just win pretty much every lane because your Jinx outscales and kind of outranges the Ezreal unless he's really good at sticking right on the edge of fights and landing those arcane shots. Zilean I think is a little bit better than Bard. He's got the movement, the point and click, either super speed with his allies or what's basically a wither. If he puts on an enemy, I think he uses it twice because he can E, W, E, and that's 2 people slowed or 1 slowed, 1 sped up. And then obviously he's got the ult to just keep someone safe. You've got A Soul who can just nuke a fight, and you've got Aatrox and Graves who are those great like dash around bruiser guys in a battle who can do plenty of damage, take a lot of damage as well, and also still be mobile enough to be problematic and keep up with this Ezreal. Whereas Friendly Frogs, you've got Kennen ult, and then poke / burst with the Pantheon and Ezreal, so their comp doesn't look great on paper, and like was said, they're kind of just playing really conservative. They're picking either comfort or something that's supposed to be safe, which is really going to limit their ability to fight what looks like a more meta comp on the side of Little Slice of Heaven.
I think you're right. I agree that a Little Size of Heaven kind of seems like a stronger comp in paper. Flying Frogs is trying to do a little too much with their comp. Essentially, they have a pick comp that can also kind of team fight and can also kind of poke, while also having a split pushing option with the Scion. And it kind of feels like, and technically with the Kennen as well. So it kind of feels like they're trying to cover a bunch of little boxes, and I'm worried that when push comes to shove, Alf having a team that can essentially say, okay, no, we're fighting this like right now, and have that go button might be a problem for Funny Frogs, particularly because it puts all the onus on Bard being able to hit an ult that only hits part of the team so that Kennen and Sion are able to CC the rest of the team and kill them before the other ones get away. It seems a little too complicated in team fight scenarios. However, with the Pantheon, assuming it's jungle, they should be able to set up a lot of early pressure. And if they can do that successfully, then I could see an avenue where Funny Frogs could succeed there.
They definitely have options. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Banana.
Oh, you're good. I just wanted to confirm Scion, it looks like will be in the jungle. It'll be Pantheon mid and Kennen top. So with that, does that change your thoughts about
It makes it even worse. It makes it even worse for Funny Frogs, in my opinion. At least Pantheon, once he gets 6, he can ult out of the jungle anywhere and be a threat. Now it's Scion ulting, but he can only come through river or lane, which really limits the options of engage there. And his clear is also not amazing, especially compared to a Graves. And Graves should be able to bully him if he wants to invade. So I don't get it, but I mean, there's a reason they're picking it. They feel confident, so we have to fully respect that they probably know a little bit more about what's going on. They're definitely talking in those comms. They have some ideas. The one thing I will point out, they have a lot of globals. Ezreal, Bard, Sion, and Pantheon all have some version of a either global or super long range ability. So they could be looking to just not fight and just make these plays, turn a 1v1 into a 2v1 or a 3v1 with just coming out of nowhere. And if they can execute that really well and just keep this fight, all across the map rather than in one place, it's doable. You know, they have the split push, they have the threats to just gank you from anywhere. So if they play it well, it is doable, but I think the margin for error is really small.
All right. So, oh, sorry, I didn't. Did
Sorry,
you?
real quick. I agree entirely, and I think the Scion being jungle kind of kills your ability to send him to split push a lane, just because in the jungle you're not going to be able to generate enough economy, particularly if you're Scion, in order to be that sort of, oh, you can't push me around in the lane anymore, which kind of forces Funny Frogs to look for fights, and they're not necessarily the stronger team fighting team between these two.
I got it. So as I guess as we before we go over to quick break to for spectator delay, what are your predictions for this game?
First blood FF, but Alf wins at between 33 and 35 minutes.
Okay. And Promech?
I think that's a safe bet. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go for Funny Frogs because maybe they have something there that I'm not seeing. And quite frankly, a big part of the reason why I think Alpha is better is because the Jinx should be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. When in reality, maybe Jinx isn't him. Maybe Jinx isn't there yet. So I'm gonna give Funny Frogs the win here just to keep things spicy.
Yeah, and I'm actually siding with you. I think Promech. I think Funny Frogs can pull out the win here because they just have such a weird comp. In that, and there's a lot that can happen there. So I'm looking to see if we can do some fun roams and get leads and just run over the game. But anyway, with that, I guess we'll go ahead and go to a break while we catch up with the spectator delay, and we'll be back just a short couple minutes.
Here we are in game, and it looks like there might be some level 1 action. as Alf is setting themselves up for a bot lane fight. This could be interesting. I don't know if they think that FF is going to invade or if they're planning a late one of their own.
Yeah, it looks like FF is just 5-pointing right now, or wait, I am messing up right now. Is FF blue side or red side?
FF is blue. They
FF
will
is
be.
blue.
Yep.
Okay, I had it right in the first place, second guessing myself last minute. Yeah, it looks like they're just 5-pointing. We'll see. Does Alf want to invade? It doesn't look like it. We have Graves doing a standard start. It looks like he's just going to be clearing from top side. Everyone going to their appropriate lane assignments.
Yeah, I mean, I like the top-down approach from Graves. Kennen's probably not going to be super gankable because he's such a fast character. The E, I know, just really makes it hard to lock him down. And all you've got is like a knock-up from Q1, 2, 3 from Aatrox and the chains, which is a pullback, but Kennen's gets out of that pretty easy. So go bot lane, get your Jinx ahead, look for an early gank mid, try to get this A-Soul rolling into the Pantheon, who's getting a nice little trade to start this off.
Yeah, they're just trading. It looks like just going back to CS, weaving some autos there. He's still getting some Stardust. Here we are going back to the bot lane. Just Jinx weaving some autos in between last hitting.
Yep, it's like an early push down for Alf, which makes a lot of sense. Oh, Zilean went Relic Shield. That's going to be interesting to note. I like the pick here because it's going to be really hard to land any bombs or poke on a Bard Ezreal, so take the free gold with the Relic Shield. It helps your Jinx shove waves so that you see they already have a massive wave control down here. They could even get a Cheetah Recall off if they wanted to, although I would be shocked if they did.
It might be a little too late for Cheetah Recall because I think normally that's the third wave. Whereas it looks like they would have crashed a little too soon. But yeah, not a lot of action going on here. We just have A-Soul farming in the mid lane. Graves going into his bot side jungle here. I'm curious to see whether the bot lane will get the waves to bounce back and get a gank from Graves here.
Yeah, it looks like it should be bouncing right as he finishes that Gromp Blue, whichever he decides to do next. So it could be an option for him, although Ezreal is going to have that Arcane Shift available here pretty soon, and Bard will have that Magical Journey. So is it gankable? Yes. Will it be a successful one? Probably not, would be my guess. Ezreal, though, struggling to last at some of these minions. He's got only a 5 CS lead with a wave and a half stacked up for this Jinx, so she should be able to take a nice little lead here as these waves come crashing in.
Yeah, getting a little poke as the wave just crashes under tower. We have Sion in the top lane looking to gank here. I'm not sure
whether
up.
Good.
Yeah, it looks like so. Okay, so we have Sion landing his E, slowing the Aatrox, and I'm getting trolled by the spectator. Okay, he's walking over into the bush, trying to kite it out. We have Sion walking up. Let's see. Kennen lands the stun, and that's first blood to Kennen.
Great job of Sion making sure that kill goes to his laner. I would have been like to see him either help shove this, just because the second wave is going to catch here. Aatrox will be able to TP back and get a lot.
More action going on here. Is Aurelion Sol dead to the Ignite? He is dead! Gummy Boy taking down Elena Uwu, I guess is how. Taking down the Aurelion Sol there. In a nice solo kill, despite Graves being right there.
Oh, good flashes. Well played by the Kennen to get out of that one. Very risky trying to crash it. But no, Panther did a great job with the solo kill and gets away. Burns both his sums though, so is susceptible to a gank from this Graves.
Yeah, let's see what happens top lane now, because Graves is top side again here, and the wave is pushed all the way up. We'll see if Graves ends up going top here. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we just have a lot. Looks like they're pushing in the wave. I wonder, are they going to reset or look to poke and get some turret plates?
Probably not going to go for the plates just quite yet. Interesting to note, Sion did not. No, he did full clear. Yeah, he was just a little bit slower about it. Graves is already on his second clear, finished that first camp, and Sion's just getting back onto the map. So Graves up some tempo here. Could be an early dragon play if he wants it. I would personally go Raptors right to drag here. Because your bot lane has all the prio in the world. Your mid laner is going to be able to get you prio, even though he is down that kill. So get that early drag with those defensive stats to help your team survive. Because right now you're down 2-0. You don't want to get too far behind.
Oh, we have some trading going on in the top lane. Kennen landing a nice stun there. This lane feels very hard it looks like for Aatrox to play because of Kennen's range. Although Aatrox does have a nice 11 CS lead here.
Yeah, he's done a good job staying in it. That kill, not quite as punishing as it could be, thanks to the CS lead he's got for himself. But you're right, the range in the Kennen is just making it so difficult for this Aatrox to do anything in here.
Yeah, just a little bit. Looks like they're trading, getting some CS, not just the standard fare for the day here. Not a lot going on. Bot is pushing in. Jinx lands her little chompers. More trading in the mid lane. Looks like Pantheon is getting a nice chunk onto the early lane. So we have the Aatrox using his ultimate to push in the wave.
Yep.
Wow, there's a lot going on here right now.
We can look some more action mid. Graves is coming in behind this Pantheon. They could look for something here.
Does it look like, are they going to get the Pantheon stuns the Graves and he starts to kite back. Sion shows up here and the Aurelion Soul is just using his little flame. Okay, Aurelion Soul are stunning the Sion under tower. They just walk away. Okay, nothing, no kills happening here just yet. Aurelion Soul just going back to farming, it looks like. So a nice little standoff there. No one died though.
I mean, Pantheon did a great job jumping back. Gimmyboy did a good job using his W, getting back onto the Graves, walking out, and Sion, great rotation, and almost were able to pick up that Graves. Had a little bit more CC, would have been able to make a kill there. But either way, works out. Aurelion Soul had to use the ult to save his ally. I don't know, Aatrox did use his ult top in that 1v1, but he used it really well. He used it to finish shoving the wave so that Kennen couldn't get 6 off the minions and then threaten the kill. Because Aatrox was at, I think, 250 HP, 300 HP, and Kennen was about 2 minions away from leveling up, and if he gets it, that's just a kill with the hail... What's it called? No, not Hailstorm. Yeah, Slicing Maelstrom.
Slicing Maelstrom, yep, close enough. And looks like blue side is going for Dragon right now, the Sion and the Bard right there in the back of the Dragon pit. They should take it uncontested because Graves had just reset and he went to his top side jungle. So looks like that's a pretty free dragon for friendly frogs.
Yeah, no, I mean, well played by them to get it. Zeph, I'm just gonna call him Zeph. Zeph had a nice clear down, but didn't really look to do anything with the bot prio that his team had acquired him. Wanted to just reset and get back to this farming, which I don't hate. I mean, Graves scales really well with golden items, so if he can stay ahead, I mean, look, he's already up 8 CS. And he's going to be getting this Herald here, so doing well for himself. And that gold will help him burn through some of these squishier members, and even the tanks, depending on what build he opts to go for. It looks like it's going to be a Triforce build. Trading in mid lane, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, not really a whole lot going on here. A nice little trade back and forth, but just Aurelion Soul getting his Stardust stacks. Graves is taking the Rift Herald, which I think will be very good. We have another trade going in top. Looks like Kennen is just going to disengage while Graves takes the Herald. Yeah, and then back to clearing the pink ward. Kennen does need to be careful here because Graves is here, but Pantheon could roam up with his R.
Yeah, Pantheon definitely wants to look up. 3 spotted on that pink though, fortunately. The Grand Starfall could do a lot of work here. This Aatrox still in trouble because Sion also has his ult available. If they Unstoppable Onslaught and Starfall onto that Aatrox, he's just going to die. It's going to be 3 ults. Kennen can put the Maelstrom down. Oh, here's the Sion.
Yep, he's here. He didn't sniff it out. Aatrox presses R. You have the Slicing Maelstrom from Kennen getting a stun. Aatrox is still alive though, and Graves shows up to counter gank, and a Jinx rocket just flies right on by everyone. Nice field goal by the Jinx. Not really what you wanted, unfortunately. But yeah, then back to farming.
Yeah, the early Merc spread did a lot there for Sonny. I'm sorry, Sonic the Rock. Oh, but he's gonna get reganked here.
Regank coming in. He nice interrupt on the Sion Q charge, and Graves is still around though, so it doesn't look like these ganks are working out too much. And Eric Bobo is just seems like losing some time here, losing out on the tempo.
Yep, he's down now 12 farms with 3 full jungle camps. And Graves is only going to increase that lead here pretty shortly. He's got a lot more camps up anyway. So, it's going to be interesting. Aatrox is trying to take these trades. The early Mercs, like I said, doing a lot of value for him in staying in this and not eating too much poke. But Gummyboy might look for another jump in here. Oh, but he's going to gank him.
Oh, he's getting ganked by the Zillion. Zillion slow into a double bomb stun, into an Aurelion Soul stun, and Gummyboy goes down. Graves, meanwhile, is pushing forward onto Crunkfish, and it looks like Crunkfish flashes over the wall to escape. All in all, disaster averted, although they did lose Gummy Boy in the process. That could have gone a lot worse.
It could have, but I mean, Gummy Boy just doing pretty well to stay in that. Just didn't quite have the help fast enough. I think Bard probably should use that ult a little bit sooner. Maybe to just even ult the Scion.
Yep. Oh, Scion, is he just... He got the scuttle. Is he going to get his flash off in time? He does get his flash off, and he dodges... Oh, but he dodges the Graves R, but gets hit by the Jinx Mega Rocket.
Yeah, super Mega Death Rocket doing a lot of damage there, and Aatrox could threaten the dive. Sonic has the damage if he can hit a next combo. Q3 misses.
Q3 misses, and he gets perma CC'd under tower and dies. That is tragic for the Aatrox.
Sonic had a nice thought there, just didn't quite have the damage, and Kennen doing a lot. That slicing Maelstrom really just bought him so much time. He not only killing the wave, but also just CCing the Aatrox, and the tower obviously helping out there. So well played by him. He's now up 2-0. Lil Sejong doing well in this lane, and he's secured. He's minimized rather that farm advantage. Aatrox should get a little bit here off this wave he TP'd for, but.
Yeah, all in all, well played. We have some more action going on here. It looks like Graves uses the Rift Herald in the bot lane, while we have Darrison and St. Malay pushing in the wave. We have some trading going on mid lane, but it looks like they get the Rift Herald charge onto the turret. I'm surprised the Bard didn't use his R to interrupt.
It was actually 5 seconds away from being up when the Herald was charging, so just missed it.
And we have Sun coming in now. It looks like he ults right past them all. He's charging up his Q. Graves goes down to the only Taco Cat.
Yeah, but Asol TP'd in. He might want to ult on this.
Yep. Do we have... does he see the angle here? Because, careful now, Pantheon could follow up. They do need to be careful. It would end up being a 3v4 if Pantheon decides, but he just sits mid and gets some plates. Meanwhile, Aurelion Sol going back to the mid lane. We have some trading top here. Looks like Kennen just walking away. And more trading in the mid lane. Bard showed up. That was a really, really good bomb from the Zillion. And up, Aurelion Sol flashes, almost takes down Gummy Boy there.
Yeah, well traded here. This Asol scaling into it now. He's able to fight with these, even without having his mythic completed yet. So Pantheon did a good job getting an early lead. Gummy Boys did exceptional there, but now it's slowing down as that Asol is starting to scale into his kit, able to do some damage, able to survive a little bit more as well. But Second Dragon will be going over here to the friendly frogs. Cloud Mountain, not too bad to start it off, so we'll have a very interesting one. All four of the available dragons left are going to be good. Ocean Soul, huge.
Yep, this is actually really good for either team, really. One, it's not the most ideal dragon for... oh, we have some action going on here. Kennen just ulting the Graves, and looks like they're fighting back and forth. Pantheon comes in with his... Is it Skyfall?
Yep, Grand Starfall.
Grand Starfall. Grand Starfall. Some of these ultimates, it's like, I used to know these names, and they just... We have up... So it looks like Kennen goes down here. We have their own soul coming in through. Is he going to W over the wall to pick up the Pantheon again? The kill on Gummy Boy goes to Aatrox. We have some more action bot lane. Jinx just trading in autos. Ezreal trying to weave in autos in his Qs. And Jinx looks like has the final save there. No super mega death rocket though to try and execute the Ezreal. So all in all,
DFM Crunkfish might want to try to get... Nope, Ezreal does finish the recall. I thought they should have gone for it, but you know, we'll see. But no, that fight top was interesting. It looked really good. Zeph was doing pretty good damage on the Kennen there, and Sonic almost was able to come and help finish him off, but when the Grand Starfall came through, you thought, oh, FF's going to turn this around, but Elena Uwu just came in with some big damage and was able to finish that fight off, and now Scion here in a pretty rough spot, starting up this Herald, but he doesn't have a team with him.
Yeah, and it looks like Bard trying to catch out the Jinx there, but Jinx fortunately had Flash and Ghost and is just going to walk out. Meanwhile, looks like Alpha is just contesting the Herald here. It's difficult for Friendly Frogs to do anything at this Herald because they're down in numbers. Although that was a nice Ezreal R.
Yeah, hits all 4 of them. Adds some good damage onto this. They might still look for this.
It will be very hard. The Bard ultimate coming in and ceasing the Aurelion Soul. You have Pantheon and Aurelion Soul. Meanwhile, Kennen is on top of the Graves, and they take out Graves immediately before he's able to get much of anything done. Meanwhile, Sonic the Rock is able to get a return kill on Eric Bobo, and we have... looks like Sonic and Saint Malay are in the wrong side of the map, getting hunted down by the friendly frogs. This time they are not so friendly. They're coming in, and it looks like they're gonna get the Aatrox, but the Aatrox ults. Does he have the healing to go through? Little Sejong taking down Saint Malay. You have Aurelion Soul coming in and just using his Flame Breath. Sonic the Rock coming in with a shy performance, landing multiple Qs, healing through everything, and just not going down.
Yeah, that was a very messy fight. FF, you did so well to start it off. You found the pick on Graves, but you didn't finish off the A-Soul, and then you just kept kind of, stepping around, not really completing any of these fights, as it looks like
we have more
Sion's getting
fighting.
picked.
Yeah, Sion coming in through. Look, he was trying to do his blue buff, but Sion, you can't be there, my friend. He just goes down to Elena Uwu, who's able to just fly right on out, so no return kill. All in all, well played by Alf there.
Yeah, Alf just playing this beautifully. They're showing that the team fight comp is just working so well. They're executing it beautifully, and they're not getting punished in the ways that they should be. Friendly Frogs, they have a pretty strong. Looks like there could be still some action.
We still have some more action with the Bard ulting Saint Malay and the Pantheon Grand Skyfall coming down. Looks like they have the Jinx locked down, but the Zillion is able to just walk away.
These guys, they just keep fighting. I want to break down these fights. They won't let me. They just said, no, we're going to have another one. But no, it's a good shutdown there. And they're trying to siege mid here, but they really should just gone for the Herald as a free take. Jinx is dead. Everyone else is away. You got to get something here. You're in a weird spot. You need to find some gold, get the Herald, get a tower, open up this map a little bit.
Yeah, and something I'd like to bring attention to is the ward coverage right now, the vision lines. Because looking at it, you see there aren't a whole lot of wards placed. Most of them are right around mid lane, and we've just had fight after fight after fight right around the Herald.
I want to give benefit of the doubt that there were wards down, and there was just so much fighting, no one ever got a chance to reset their ward lines. So that's what I'm going to go with, just because it makes me feel a little bit better about what these teams are doing. But Sonic looks like he wants to start up this Herald by himself, as the rest of his team is going to go threaten this third Drake here. Don't want to let FF get too many attacks. That's the one thing they do have. They have the 2 dragons, so they have the nice stacking here. So they're in a good spot with that.
Yeah, and it looks like they already have set up in the river, and you see Sonic coming down to get ready to fight this, because this is third dragon. This would put friendly frogs on soul point if they're able to take it.
Yep, the operative word there being if. These guys are split up in the fight too. Ezreal and Bard are in different parts of the fight than the rest of their team. Ezreal is going to arcane shift over that wall, so he's okay, but now they're forced out of the river.
Oh, that's a really good Bard ult, and you have Kennen on top of them. Kennen uses his Slicing Maelstrom and gets a decent ult off. The Zillion was able to save the Jinx initially, but she goes down to Gummy Boy. Meanwhile, you have Aurelion Soul just having free reign right now. As he flashes away, he's just able to use his little flame breath to do dragon things here. It looks like Sonic is re-engaging on top of Gummy Boy there, but he doesn't get anything. He gets just CC'd by the Sion and Pantheon and goes down. Looks like they're chasing them away. I don't know, it looks like Friendly Frogs won this fight.
Yeah, it was dicey there. They had a great engage, picked up the Jinx really quickly. Darrison did go down early, but they were able to kind of kite this fight out. But the tower had been too long, and there's not enough damage. Without your Ezreal, your
Jinx Rocket?
Yeah,
it does not go down.
It does damage though. I'm surprised. Yeah, Asol's TPing in. They still want this fight. Kennen has to TP in as well. Lil Shezong is going to be here in time to help his team secure this. The smite goes down. All right, good. They got it. They gotta get out.
They got it. Now soul point. Now can they get out without any more casualties? Lil Shezong getting tagged by the Jinx W by Zap. Sion getting tagged. Oh, but such a good Bard ultimate. Completely
Bard saving the
pinning
team
them.
there.
Yeah, this is the thing about Bard, man. He's one of the most tilting supports to play against. because he lands those ultimates like that, and it just feels like you can't do anything.
It really feels like Friendly Frogs just got away with a crime there. I really didn't think they should have A, gotten that dragon, and B, gotten out afterwards, but they might lose the Baron off of it. Quick rotation here from Alpha. They're just going to start up. They don't even want to bait this. They just want to go full send. But Jinx, Asol, and Graves, they do a good amount of damage to this, but do they do it fast enough for it to be stopped? They are seen.
They got caught out. They got spotted out by Friendly Frogs here, and Sion is already in. And it's the Jinx who's able to secure the Baron. They managed to get that, but how many go down here? They're waiting for the Zilean ultimate to go down. It looks like it's really just the Zilean and the Graves. All in all, really decisive play from Alf there to go straight for the Baron.
Yeah, I don't hate the play. I think it's a great option. You know, it looked good. They just weren't quite able to finish it off as fast as they wanted to. But all in all, it was a solid play. I don't hate the idea. The execution just didn't quite go their way. But they still got the Baron at the end of the day, which is really nice. So all that gold is on them, but this is still a fight.
Up, we have Jinx, looks like it's getting caught out first by the Bard ultimate, knocked up by Sankyu, and finished off by the only Taco Cat. Now 3-1-5 on the Ezreal. Looks like, I don't know, they are losing some tempo around the map. But they do have Baron. Baron is off the map, and they do have an Aurelion Soul. So I don't know. I think Alpha's still in a decent spot in the game.
Alp's okay. I mean, look at the gold. They're still up almost 1.5k gold. But they are down 3 dragons. That's the really big one here. And they still have some towers here, but there is some leftover gold. If this mid tower goes down, they're going to have a nice lead. They're going to open this map a little bit more. So yeah, the next push should get that tower down. But if I'm Alf, I'm not worried yet, right? This next dragon, you need it though. If you don't, if you like, let up a 4 free soul, now you got to be, okay, we're in a pretty rough spot. But, you know, panic button should be, they've got about 2.5 minutes to try to get some items. Jinx needs to complete a mythic, Asol needs to complete a mythic, and then they'll be ready to fight.
Yeah, and Graves is very happy to just sit back and scale. Aurelion Soul's happy to sit back and scale. Jinx is happy to sit back and scale. And I don't know, it's kind of hard for Friendly Frogs to get through that Aatrox. A very scary Aatrox right now from Sonic the Rock. He's currently sitting at 5-3-3 with 2 completed items. And I'm not sure what the double ruby crystal is going to be building into.
I want to say Sterix Gauge, but I'm not sure. I know Sterix builds out of at least a 1 ruby crystal, and it would make sense for him to go with, but we'll have to see a few more items come out. What I'm interested to see in this next exchange is, so we've seen the Jinx get caught twice now in some of these fights, where they're Friendly Frogs are able to find a really nice engage, stack up multiple ults. The Bard is doing so much work with these ultimates, picking people up and setting up the Sion, the Pantheon, and the Kennen to lay their CC on top. Can they find another one at this next fight? Oh, Jinx is picked.
Oh, Bard
following up.
land is stunned.
Oh my
Looks like an Ezreal art. It looks like nothing really will come of it, but Jinx is chunked down to half HP. She does have the red buff to regen back up if not much else happens, and maybe some lifesteal from runes, and certainly from the Doran's Blade. But it looks like almost a really nice pick from Friendly Frogs there.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a beautiful pick. It wouldn't have been able to get a free drag off of it, but it would have set up the next one. But oh gosh, Bard needs to walk up. He's got the mystical journey. Just go for it. Just go for it.
Yep, they don't have vision on the rest of the team just yet, so they have to be careful. But they see Jinx isolated. Looks like they're walking around. Is Sion about to press R, or are they just going to let the Jinx is able to just walk away?
I feel like they really miffed that play. You see enough to know that you can jump on her quick. She doesn't have flash. You should know what the flash timer is. You guys get on her, kill her, and then you've got a free dragon because she's not going to be there in time. She's desynced from her team. But they have full control of this jungle here, so will they be able to threaten it?
It looks like they're setting up one of the death bushes right there. Will someone walk in and face check, or will they try to enter through the river? Still giving Graves a speed up. Looks like they spotted the Sion and the Bard. Surely they know the rest of the team is right there. Pantheon goes in with his W. You have a nice Bard ultimate, followed by a huge Aurelion Soul ultimate, though. And it looks like they're trying to cut away. Up, Jinx got a reset. Let's see what else they can do with it. Kennen gets his stun in, but is it enough? It doesn't look like it. Jinx is just going wild this fight. completely zoning the entire bot side. Looks like she's 1v2. Meanwhile, you have the Pantheon going in, diving 1v3. Oh, Ezreal is able to take down the Jinx. He kited that so well. Is Ezreal about to carry this fight? Looks like he just arcane shifted forward, but you still have the Graves alive. He's on Dragon. Can Graves secure this Dragon? He has Smite, but will he fall down to the Bard? Bard landed a nice stun. Ezreal arcane shifts forward, and XEF is able to take down Ezreal. What a close fight.
That looked so bad for Friendly Frogs, and then it looked really good. The only Taco Cat was doing some great work and there, was getting some good damage and got a triple kill for himself. But just a little bit too much there. I think you need to play that a little bit slower. Let Graves tank that Dragon a little bit longer. Maybe try to land some more poke, get an angle around, throw some Qs in there. But, I mean, it looks good. But this is what I'm saying. Now, the panic button's not being pressed yet because you've got one Dragon. And once you get one, you have a chance to get two. So the scaling is coming in. They're hitting those 2-3 item spikes. Little Slice of Heaven has a chance. They got the Dragon. They're up 2.5k gold. They're getting to these points where they're collecting some of these towers now. The map's opening up. Now they're really threatening. These next few fights are going to really show how this game goes.
Yeah, you just have Rolling Soul right now clearing bot side. But yeah, honestly, a little piece of heaven is just they're in, I think, a really comfortable spot because you have 3 hyper-scaling carries in the Jinx, the Graves, and the Aurelion Soul, and you are up gold, so a lot of the onus is on Friendly Frogs to push the tempo here. Looks like they're currently setting up vision around Baron. Maybe they're going to look for a play here, or look to try to push tempo up. Did they catch Graves? Pantheon landing stun. Graves is cutting away. Zilean with the not quite a double bomb, although the Bard did land a nice ult on the Zilean. It looks like not a whole lot. Does Kennen have a nice slicing Maelstrom up? It looks like he just gets the Graves with it. Rolling Soul comes in, and it looks like Little Piece of Heaven is just punishing. The Aurelion Soul is going crazy this fight. And the Jinx with the resets. I don't know, man. It's starting to look now like a Little Piece of Heaven have just taken over and outscaled.
Yep, they did that Aatrox with the Sterix gauge. I was right, it is the Sterix gauge, and it came in so huge. They almost bursted him, they almost finished him off, and that shield came through and made him impossible to kill. And this is a great call here. That's 5 dead. Let the Jinx go shred these towers, take them down. The rest of your team can secure this Baron. Just gonna, gold do it from 2,500 to, let's see what it's at now. Yeah, 8,000. I mean, that's a huge swing. And this game should be closed out by Little Slice of Heaven at this point. They just need to get the resets in and then go push down together with the Baron.
Yeah, they're coming here to the top side. Will they be able to get the tier 2, or will Friendly Frogs be able to... And it looks like they back off. Okay, and I'm expecting them here to reset. And you have Jinx in the bot lane, Sun catching the wave. Yeah, not... Honestly, once they reset, I just want a Little Piece of Heaven to reset, buy their items, and go back. Just pick a lane and walk down it.
Yeah, I mean, I would go top if I were them. I would send 4 people top of the Aatrox go mid to threaten that inhibitor by himself, while you use the Baron to siege that pretty weak tier 2 tower into the top inhibitor. Because the next objective that's going to be up is the Elder Drake, and obviously that's probably the most overpowered thing in this game is the Elder Drake. It just kind of ends games, so that's what I'd be looking for. I'm sorry, not Elder Drake. They didn't get it. Soul Threat. Anyway, ignore me. I'm just gonna stop talking now.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming down mid. They're clearing the wave. Are they? Looks like Graves is looking to match the Pantheon here. I'm not sure if I like this macro, although Graves is very strong right now. Level 16, 4, 3, and 9, compared to the Pantheon's level 13. I don't know, this Graves is going to be really hard to kill here.
Yeah, he's going to be a danger, especially if he gets that E stacked up. I think go 8 stacks is, I want to say 30 plus armor, which is a lot. This is interesting. I don't know why they're going for the 1-3-1 here. It seems a little weird to me personally, but I mean, it's working. Graves is going to get a tower here. Aatrox is bullying the Scion, so now they're just jostling for position in this blue side jungle with the rotated dragon favoring Alf.
I just wanted to say, currently it looks like we have a fight breaking out. Kennen flashing with Slicing Maelstrom, landing a nice stun on both of them. The Bard lands a nice ultimate on the Aurelion Sol. Will they be able to get him? They do get him. Ezreal takes him down, meanwhile Sonic the Rock is able to get a return kill on the Kennen. Sion ulting in, and it looks like they're able to take down Aatrox, but I don't know. They're losing the rest of their base to the Jinx and the Graves.
Yeah, it was a nice idea, but I think that's just game. Jinx is going to reset off these towers and should just shred this to pieces.
Yeah, it looks like this game may very well be over. Pantheon did make it back in time and did land the stun on the Jinx. Graves is not there to damage the Nexus while the Jinx was reviving from the Zilean. It looks like they're going to be able to just back right up. I don't know. Friendly Frog's able to save the game.
Yeah, that was close. I think the Graves was trolling a little bit. He was pushing that bot lane. That's fine, but once you see them fully commit to that fight in the blue side jungle, go help the Jinx push. Like, get these towers down. I got a TP coming in. This is going to be another big fight.
Now we have the Kennen TPing in. He uses his little burst of energy, his lightning rush, to go right through and just kite back while he waits for the rest of his team. Now he has Slicing Maelstrom. Did they catch the Graves? Aurelion's ultimate coming down while his E just making a lot of space. They take down Gummy Boy. Meanwhile, Sion is trying to land a nice stun. The Graves takes him down. And you have Aatrox zoning the entire rest of the team off of the dragon while XEF is able to take it down. Aurelion flying in. He lands his E, but is Ezreal able? Ezreal does Arcane Shift forward and take down Alina Uwu. Meanwhile, Aatrox and Zilean looks like they're trying to run down Ezreal, make sure he can't make it back to base while Graves just ends. They're tower diving him, and they're able to take down the only Taco Cat under their tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, Graves, it looks like he's just gonna do his business, take down the Bard, and end the game up. We have Pantheon stun coming in, but he does last hit the Nexus.
Little stat padding by Graves. Camera's blurry again. A little stat padding there, killing the Bard just for fun. But yeah, I mean, decisive game. I was wrong. I was 18 seconds early on my prediction. I'm so sorry. I ended at 32-42, not 33 to 35 minutes. So, but decisive. I mean, it looked great. Friendly Frogs had a really solid early game. They played their comp the way they were supposed to. Just a few missteps around some of these objectives and weren't quite able to close the game out on the timer they needed to. And the scaling from Alf was just able to come in and take this game over.
Yep, and so with that, it looks like a little piece of heaven are able to take the first game. And I don't know, we'll see. A really, overall, I think nice game played by them. They punished a lot of the oversteps of Friendly Frogs. But no, with that, why don't we go ahead and take a short break while we set up for the next game. welcome back to game 2 now, between Friendly Frogs and A Little Piece of Heaven. I'm back here with Sizzle and Promech. That was a wild game 1, Promech. Do you want to talk a little bit about what happened there and what you're looking for here in game 2?
For sure. I thought Funny Frogs was doing a great job early on, particularly as we had talked about towards the end of the draft. The mid lane matchup, Pantheon was able to kind of bully the ASOL out and kind of had a farm lead pretty early on. Got ganked a couple of times and was able to get away. Like he was doing a good job of sort of winning his lane. Then the Cannon into Aatrox matchup, Cannon was doing a good job of winning the lane because it's a good counter matchup. But as the game kept going, the Sion I felt was way too passive of a jungler. He fell behind early, and it's not necessarily his fault. For example, he goes to gank top lane before doing Scuttle Crab because that's just the angle he had that successfully get a kill, but now he goes to do Scuttle, and he's behind on the Graves moving forward because the Graves, even though the gank mid lane didn't work, was able to just go straight to Scuttle before backing. So stuff like that kind of sets you behind as a jungler. It's usually if you're doing a fast jungle, it'll even out eventually. But if you're doing a Scion, where essentially you're slower than your opponent, you have to sort of channel all these abilities in order to successfully clear camps. It becomes a lot harder, and these small leads start to add up. So there, I felt if they had a more active jungler or faster clearing jungler, I think that would have made a huge difference. It would have allowed them to sort of do more as the game kept going. Whereas the Scion at some point kind of felt like a weight you were carrying around to every fight. And unfortunately it wasn't even a tank situation because he was getting melted pretty quickly by the Jinx. The bot lane on Funny Frogs I thought did a great job as well. Both bot lanes actually I thought were standouts this game because neither of them seemed like a liability. It was simply a fact that both of them farmed, they got into the game, and all of a sudden now you were having to deal with the Ezreal who could kill the Jinx and then kill the ASOL in one fight but couldn't kill out the Graves, and then you have the Jinx that was sometimes getting caught out and dying, but then was sometimes just mowing through the entire enemy team. So when you have your bot laners doing this kind of performance, you kind of need the rest of your team to adapt and figure out ways to where you can have fights in their situation. The Bard was pulling the trigger a little too early sometimes, and then he overall did a great job, but sometimes just, oh, I see the Jinx, let me ult her, and then nothing happens, and it's like, well, now if they want to engage, we have nothing to really fight with.
That's a great point. And I think the one big thing you mentioned that was early on was like the Sion to Graves tempo in that jungle. Yeah, that first gank got him a kill, but then on that first bat, Graves getting a Dirk, you're getting a Bammies. Now you're already behind a camp. Now it's even slower, and now you don't really have a lot. You don't have a lot of presence, right? And so you're constantly playing from behind, and then you're not having laners that are getting like Pantheon's not getting prio on Aesol. Ezreal's not getting prio on Jinx. So what are you supposed to do? It's really hard to gank when the Jinx and Aesol are doing a good job. Clear my wave, walk away, and that's really it. Or go roam, right? It's like how I gank them if they're not in their lane, and then your best option becomes going top lane, but it's really hard to get in there. And Kennen was doing a really good job of winning on their own, so she doesn't need the help. You're just kind of lost as a jungler, and you don't have it. It's not like an Amumu or a Lee Sin or a Jarvan who have that really good gank angle combo. He's got the ult, and that's really his only option. So at that point, he should have been looking for a lane gank. Just ult down lane and try something. But it doesn't work out. Oh, but it looks like we are going to be jumping into draft here, so we're going to swap on over. Teams did swap sides, so a little slice of heaven is going to be blue, and I don't want to say their name wrong. I know I did once already.
I think it's just
Funny
The
Frogs.
Funny Frogs will be on the red side, and the band's coming out. Zyra and Viego, banned by Alf. FF banning the Kindred again, which makes a lot of sense. Will they follow up with the Diana yet again? I don't mind it. I mean, you almost won, right? Like you were there. That Baron was really the key point of that game. If they get that one Baron, I think they're able to end because they have the ability to push. Without it, it's a little rough. They do ban the trend here. Bans are just flying through. These guys are fast. The Bard did need a ban. So interesting respect coming out the Zillion as well. So both supports getting respect banned, banning what they played last game. So we'll change things up, and Diana gets to be the first pick. How do we think these teams are going to draft their draft strategy, Banana, to see what we saw last game? Do we pick a more easy comp on the side of maybe the Frogs? Do they pick an easier comp, or do you think they're going to go with something a little bit weird again, like they did last game?
Well, right now it looks like A Little Piece of Heaven are just going for they're I guess more or less trying to like strong carry jungler in Diana. I assume Diana's going jungle, although it is possible, I guess, that she could go mid lane. I don't remember seeing that on Alina Uwu's champ pool, but it is possible. And I don't know, we get the Xin Zhao Caitlyn responses here. I'm looking for a little bit more aggressive picks from the Funny Frogs where a stronger jungle pick, which they picked Xin Zhao, so that's right down what I was expecting. And I also like the Caitlyn pick. It's another solid, standoff AD carry like Jinx. Although Jinx is still open. I don't know. We have a Reliant Soul pick coming in, and we'll see how this draft is. There's some changes, but there's also a lot of similarities here.
Yeah, I mean, Alf is kind of just taking what they had last game. They went from Graves to Diana. I actually like that a lot better. I think the Diana works more with their team. She's got a better engage with the ER to really force those fights to happen. And then you've got the Asol, obviously, again, a lot of damage last time, has the ult and the Seraphine. So there's a lot of wombo here now. It's magic heavy, but it's good wombo. And it's really smart into a Jhin Caitlyn because they're squishy. Caitlyn's not the most mobile ADC, although she is ranged. But the Fizz is an interesting choice. I'm not super aware of his matchups. I know he's not the most popular pick right now. He should be okay against Soul, like maybe around the level 6 mark if he gets an early, if he has a good lane, gets some items. He probably bully that Asol a little bit. But I would imagine scaling wise, he's gonna have a rough time really picking a target to kill.
Yeah,
Protect, what do you think we're gonna see on the back half? So we see junglers, we see mid laners. It looks like top lane's gonna be that crux point. Are we gonna see a lot of change in that top lane? Or do you think we're gonna pick these guys that can fight, like team fight really well, like last game?
I'm expecting something that can team fight, but I'm definitely expecting something that's a little more that essentially can dictate a little more than the Kennen can. While Kennen has a really strong team fight, and while he can bully a lane, the truth of the matter is that with Kennen, you're kind of playing him like Gnar, where you're kind of playing safe, and then if the enemy team walks up a little bit too far, at that point you're poking, but beyond that, you're kind of just waiting for the right opportunity to go in. So I'll expect the top lane to be a little more aggressive, like something like the Aatrox, that although it's banned, something like Fiora, something that can sort of dictate how lane's going to go. Although into Darius, it's a little hard to make that kind of proposition. On the other side, I think the Fizz into Asol matchup is very interesting. I think Fizz is very favored in it, but the Asol will just eventually outscale him. So it really becomes a question of whether or not the Funny Frogs can win early, because right now what they've drafted so far is pretty much an early comp. Xin Zhao falls off. The Caitlyn right now doesn't fall off, but she's lethality is how people are generally building her. And as armor stacks, lethality becomes a little less effective. So it's interesting of whether or not they're going to completely go in on early game with the Funny Frogs by taking like a Renekton or something like that.
Yeah, like you said, the comp is interesting. I like the aggression. They picked a much more aggressive comp with a very clear identity. But it's a little bit, again, they're putting on a timer. Asol is going to outscale pretty much everyone in this game, even Seraphine and Aphelios, Diana too. They're all going to get pretty strong. So you are on a timer again where you have to kind of win, find yourselves a way to take these fights. Right now it's Fizz. Fizz is your go button, and that's really it. But I like the Braum pick, works really well. He should ideally be able to kind of keep his Seraphine ult in check. That's really what he should be using, is stand behind me, not stand behind me. Yeah, stand behind me. 4. And then the Jax, I think what they're looking for here is a split push. Jax ideally can beat Darius if he gets a little bit of a lead, right? And so that's what you're looking for, is that 1-4 mentality and just trying to avoid being jumped out. With Braum, Fizz, Caitlyn, Xin Zhao, that's not the easiest engage to make because Seraphine's your best shot, but you can block it with Braum. Okay, now it's Asol Diana, but Fizz can, playful trickster away. Xin Zhao's got his ult to knock you away and not take damage, and Caitlyn's already so far back with the range, uses the net, gets even more further back. It's going to be hard. If they can play this right, it looks well for them. The question is, again, I think that they've picked that comp that requires a little bit more execution. Banana, do you think they've learned from last game that, hey, maybe we need to like be a little bit more foot on the gas, or are we going to see maybe a little timid advance again from them?
the one thing I do like is the Xin Zhao pick because I think he'll have a lot more success with Xin Zhao over Sion. from last game. So I do think they learned some from what happened last game, where they picked a stronger champion. They can scrap a little earlier. Because when you see Xin Zhao, you typically think either red buff into level 2 gank mid or something like that, which could be deadly here for the Aurelion Soul, especially since I know Fizz is someone who can really bully the Aurelion Soul a little bit before level 6, but afterwards he has so much kill threat on ASOL that the Elena Uwu is going to need to play really, really carefully there to prevent that. So I don't know. Overall, I am liking what I see from the Friendly Frogs.
The thing I will say, the Friendly Frog, I like their comp. The one concern I have is both Zen and Fizz, I feel, are a lot more early centric, right? The problem, both Eric Bobo and Gummy Boy are grading at about a C for their early game prowess across their careers here in Risen. So are we a little bit worried that they've picked these early champs, but don't have a history of doing well in that early game? Now the onus is, have they gotten better? Is this just one of those, hey, this is what we should be doing versus what we're good at? And then again with the Jax I think is there going to be their win con? Can he get ahead? Can he split push? And can he be a threat? We'll see obviously how that goes. But I'm going to be looking a lot at the junglers. How much impact are they going to have early to try to get these guys ahead, or just to minimize the damage? How do these objectives go? Last game we saw the Frog get the first 3 dragons pretty much uncontested. Do we think that Alf is going to put a little bit more emphasis, ProTech, on getting these early dragons, finding these ways to start getting these objectives moving in their favor, so they're not having to fight on that 4th dragon multiple times?
I think it all depends on how the beginning of the game goes. I think Alf has a much stronger sort of early rotation type of team, so they're going to be able to contest a little easier, particularly with something like the Seraphine. Because of her range, she's able to sort of start exerting pressure from further away, which means that Funny Frogs now have to worry about that while also having the Diana angle to go in and so on and so forth. So it becomes a bit easier for Alf to contest Funny Frogs if they start doing objectives early, particularly how the Sion was doing them, which is just kind of showing up and doing them, and then whatever happens, happens. This time around, the Xin Zhao is a little better at doing that. So it really depends on whether or not Alf feels comfortable enough to go to contest these. I want to mention real quick, so the top lane matchup is interesting. Jax, essentially the key is if Jax is able to E Darius's W, then Jax should be able to win. But aside from that, Darius, if he lands his Q and his W doesn't get parried, he can probably get those stacks really early, which Jax will kind of struggle with. So it's really something where we're going to have to see how quick both top laners are. I do like the Fizz pick more now that I see the Aphelios, because I think Fizz is one of those champions that can actually get rid of your Aphelios problem pretty quickly. Because if he lands an ult at the Aphelios, the Seraphine is going to have to preemptively ult, and if Fizz can just E, like Aphelios is dead essentially. It really becomes a situation where unless Aphelios has a lead and has white and red gun for every fight, the Fizz can target him pretty much every fight pretty easily and kill him. And not just that, he can do the same thing for ASOL, unless ASOL goes the Roa build, which I don't think he will. And he can kill the Seraphine pretty much without using ult, which is another big factor. If you get rid of that ult super early and they can't use it for a team fight, I think it starts to favor Funny Frogs, particularly because if Diana's going in, Xin Zhao can just ult. Like that solves the problem entirely. The first part of Diana ult does no damage.
That's
The
a great
second part
idea.
does
Yeah,
damage.
that's a really good point. I'm gonna hold you guys now. This is prediction time. Banana, what are you predicting? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna get first blood? And what's your time frame? Do you think this game ends?
So I think that the Funny Frogs will get first blood. And I'm actually also predicting here a Funny Frogs win. I think just the Fizz will be able to wreak havoc this game. I don't see any champions that can really lock him down and deal with him. So I'm predicting Funny Frogs win, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be about a 32-minute win or thereabouts.
Awesome. ProTech, what about you?
I actually have the exact same prediction for the exact same reason. I think the Fizz, the only real lockdown for the Fizz is if Aurelion Sol is able to hit him with ult after he E's, which is unlikely, or if Seraphine's able to land her double E. So it's a little more complicated to take the Fizz out of the fight with the comp that Alpha's drafted. I also think First Blood is going to Flying Frogs. I think they have a little more pressure early, particularly with the Braum and the Xin Zhao. You're able to engage from far away, and if the Braum had landed a Q and Xin Zhao goes in, that champion is just dead. So that's just generally how it works. And then I also had a prediction for 32 minutes with 18 seconds. So that's my more specific prediction. I do think it's going to be a 30-minute game because I don't think Alpha is going to just let Funny Frogs win. I think it's going to be a grind out fight, and I think that Funny Frogs is, if they're going to win, they have to close it before that 32-minute mark. After that, it becomes Alf's game to lose.
It's great, and just because I like to be a contrarian, but also because I believe them, I'm gonna go with the Alf win and the First Blood. I'm gonna call that First Blood, and then I think this win happens at 29.5 minutes. I like their comp. I think they're going to execute well. Off that last game, they had some really clean fights. I think this comp has even a little bit more juice to go together. That Seraphine, Asol, Diana are just really going to become a problem. So that's my prediction. We're going to take away real quick to get ourselves ready for this game, and we'll see you all in just a few minutes. Welcome back, folks. Here we are for game 2. It looks like both teams are bunched up and moving forward. We see a lot of pings in the mid lane from the Frogs and Alf moving up high. So probably not going to see any action. They're not going to line up each other, but potentially some deep wards, at least for the Funny Frogs, as they are going to be pushing all the way into their opponent's red side. I like it. I really appreciate that you're a game up, so you can be a little bit looser. You know, you've got that 1 game buffer. And it's really good when you have an early game comp like this to have more information to start this game. Get those wards down. Know where the enemy jungler is so you can make these early plays.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Both teams, it looks like, are stacking, though, on opposite sides of the map. So it doesn't look like anything will come of it. Although, will the... It looks like the Funny Frogs just leave a ward on the red buff. As they leave to spot out, see where the Diana starts here. I don't know. All in all, I like it. We get a little more action here, level 1. Although Darius is sitting in his little cheese bush and that tri bush over at the top line. Let's see if Jax walks past him there.
Yeah, we'll see if Lil Sejong falls for it or not. Diana is going to go. Zeph wants leashless here, so I like it. This allows your laners the opportunity to be aggressive here. Lil Sejong looks like he's going to get caught by the Darius, so early trade going to go in the favor of...
Yep, Lil Sejong, yep, but he immediately uses the counter strike and stuns Darius and is able to walk away before much else happens. So all in all, he was able to avoid the Darius cheese, but he's also Jax. It's hard to cheese him when his counter strike just is able to block all the attacks.
That's really good reaction time. He walked into the bush, and if he hadn't already leveled the E, leveled it immediately, and then got it pressed quick enough to avoid the W. But here comes the damage from Darius.
Yeah,
Good try so far. Even trade.
Yeah, all in all, I really like the trade. I'm really excited to watch this top lane because we saw last game they like to fight a lot, and this is another very volatile matchup that both melee champions. So I think we'll see a lot of fighting. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch and see who's able to get the upper. Yeah, that was a really nice counter strike to completely avoid the Darius W damage there.
Yeah, the one I think Jax needs to be a little bit smart about these trades. Yeah, once your counter strike's up, you can keep trading, but as it's coming down, you need to get the stun and walk away. Because if you keep autoing, those bleed stacks are going to start to hurt, as we see another fight happening.
Jax decided to trade back into the Darius right as he leveled up, and so Darius just uses Apprehend to pull Jax back, and is able to get out the Jax Ghost.
Oh, but
So
Xin Zhao wants to come top here, but that's a big wave. This might not go well.
Yeah, this is
huge wave.
This is a risky thing for the Darius. He does get flash out, uses Ghost on there. He's going back in. That was a nice knockout from Xin Zhao, and Jax is able to jump on him and claim first blood there. All in all, well played by the Funny Frogs.
That was an incredibly risky play, but I love it. Well done by Gummy Boy and Lil Sejong. Perfectly killing it, and Jax critically got that kill, so a lot of damage. Ooh, Fizz, nice little combo. They got the electrocute proc.
Yeah, there's a lot of good things I think I see here in the mid lane, where Fizz is up in farm a little bit, and I don't know, he's trading well into the Aurelion Soul.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. Xin is behind 2 camps here. That Diana gets her back off. She's full cleared into a reset, and he still has yet to even claim that scuttle, so he's going to be, again, behind. But that's okay. He's got that first blood for his team. It's working well. You know, can he keep that tempo up of ganking? I'd love to see him. I would like to see him try to gank a lane here, but the reset's fine. Get yourself, spend that money. Probably gonna grab a serrated Dirk. Iron Spike Whip works too. Good trade by Fizz. Lovely use of the playful trickster there.
Yeah, all in all, not a lot going on right now. Now that the Xin Zhao reset, but it looks like he's coming back onto the map. There is a nice ward that was placed in Gummy Boy's jungle right there over by the Gromp. So
yep. Zeph got that down. He did what you want to do as a jungler, full clear, get the Scuttle Crab, and ideally if you get a quick reset, you can just go drop your ward on their blue side. But Gummy Boy wants to gank. Oh, we've got a disconnection here, but he looks like he immediately reconnected, so no harm, no foul. Jax wants to dive.
Up, and it looks like he just barely doesn't have the damage to take down Sonic the Rock. That was a good attempt by Lil Sejong, but unfortunately not quite enough. And Sonic the Rock, yeah, he gets another solo kill there, and he's up 12 farm. This is going to start looking a little rough for the Jax, I think.
Why does Jax have a Kindle Gem? Why would you not take a Sheen on your first back there? Oh, we see a dive.
This is really aggressive. A nice flash ignite. A nice solo kill by Eric Bobo there onto Elena Wu. Yeah, this is the danger of the matchup. Once Fizz hits level 6, I don't know, Aurelion Sol is a really squishy champion until Aurelion Sol completes the Seraphs, or for those who still go the Run of the Ages build.
Yeah, they're taking a while to scale up, but we'll get there. Diana was trying to do the dragon, but it's going to get pinged off. She's seen... I still just don't understand the Jax decision to go Kindle Gem over the Sheen. He gets that kill if he's got Sheen. I'm just really confused here, but we see a possible collapse here.
Yeah, it looks like Aurelion Sol flying forward, getting a nice ult onto 2 of them. They take down Crunkfish on the Braum there, and they're walking back, and Dragon is their prize.
Yeah, a bit of a greed there from Gummy Boy and Crunkfish. Not sure why they were sitting in that river so long. They'd force Diana off, just walk away. Or, they gotta turn around on the ASOL quicker. Either way, didn't quite work out for them. They're gonna lose a kill and a dragon here, so good advantage now. What was an 800 gold lead is now dead even as we get to this 7-minute mark, and Jax is in danger.
Nice trading back and forth between them, both using their ultimates, but Darius, Jax does get the stun, but Darius isn't able to weave in the last auto, and you have Lil Sejong replying back now with a solo kill.
Yeah, no, good kill there for him. Crucial. I think if he dies there, that lane is over. This kill, now he's back into a position where he can be a danger, be a threat, and yeah, now he's got that Sheen finally, so. Oh,
Yeah, it looks
lot of
like
damage.
we have some more trading here in the bot lane. It doesn't look like it will amount to much just yet, although they are slowly whittling down the Aphelios. I don't know if Caitlyn is I think a very good champion to pick into Aphelios. So I was a little surprised when I saw the Aphelios pick in draft.
Yeah, I actually like it. It works really well with the team. If you can get, I mean, I already mentioned the Seraphine, Azul, and Diana ult. If you get a nice affiliate ult on top of that, it can do insane work. So I'm with it. It makes sense. I see the value in it. It's just a matter of that execution. Do they have it? Do
Yeah.
they want this bot lane gank though? It's doable.
Yep, they don't see you have Derson walking right up. The Zinzao lands his W, I'm sorry, into a Braum stun, and they give the kill to the only Taco Cat.
And do they want to threaten a dive here? Fizz is here with the roam. They're trying to crash this wave fast enough.
If they're looking around, Fizz
it
does
misses.
not land his ultimate, but they are just forcing the dive. Fizz luckily can just Playful Trickster right out.
Yep, they do get the exhaust though, so I mean, Fizzle for exhaust, pretty good value there. The bot lane 2v2 should even be more favored towards Taco Cat and his team there. Darius in danger.
I'm interested to see because it looks like Darius he gets a nice healing from the outer range of his Q, and Jax is going right back on top of him. I don't know, this lane is starting to look a bit rough now that Jax has the Sheen here. But
Yeah, but the early plated steel caps is doing good value for Darius. It's healthy. I don't like that flash there from Jax. He's already out of mana now, and Diana has the flank here. He needs to get out of this.
yeah, does he suspect the gank yet? Because Diana is top. This could completely turn the tide of the lane, and it looks like they're pinging to go in. Diana's walking around. Lil Sejong spotted it, but he's just walking down towards the mid lane to catch. He's picking up the fruits. Does he know that Saint Malay is there though? You do have Gummy Boy walking to meet up with him, and the Seraphine does.
Action.
They do.
They need to pressure this. I don't know why they're giving up that ping for free. I think if Jax Zen go in, Fizz is coming. Asol's a little bit slow. Darius be slow to rotate. It would be a doable fight, but they're up, back off. They are up 1k gold. They got the 2 kills, so they're in an okay spot. I don't hate the caution, but I think they are, they remember they're on a timer. They need to look for these plays when they're there. Even if they don't work, you gotta try to take a couple risks.
Oh, that was a nice ultimate from Fizz, but into another very nice ultimate from the Aurelion Soul to stop Fizz from assassinating him.
Yeah, that falling star was crucial. Saved that Asol's life for sure. Forced the Fizz to Playful Trickster away and not in. As it looks like Alpha is going to start up this Herald. They've got pings, but Zen wants to go. He's looking for this. Gummy Boy doesn't want to give up without a fight, but they don't have the numbers.
Yeah, you do have Eric Bobo there threatening the kill, but you have some more action going here right around the Rift Herald. You have a nice Seraphine R onto the Jax. Darius uses his ult. The Jax is able to take down Darius, and it looks like Gummy Boy is turning onto Zeph, and they're able to take down, all in all, a 3-for-1 with Saint Malay just barely picking up the Jax there from the last turret shot.
Crucially, though, they do get the Herald. Oh, Fizz flashing forward. They want all the smoke, and they get it.
Yep, that Fizz going buck wild right there for a moment, flashing in, using his Q, using his Playful Tricks, using everything to take down the Aurelion Soul. Well, talk about a massive swing in the favor of the Funny Frogs.
Yeah, nope, they've accelerated. But the only thing is, they only got an extra 500 gold really out of that whole play. They were up 1k before all of that went down. Now they're only up 1.7. So they got about 700 gold off of all that, which is nice. But is it enough for what they gave up? They burned a lot of summoners. They gave up the Herald. They're going to have low priority for this dragon because they're down all their sums now. And Caitlyn has the worst reset here. She needs to get back, but it's going to be in a really decent timer as Dragon's up in 8 seconds.
Yeah, but at the same time, it looks like Alf might be positioning here to come and take the dragon. They seem to recognize Caitlyn is on reset, so they do have that opportunity. But it looks like Diana's going to walk mid and drop the Herald to create some pressure.
This is a good play. Drop the Herald, force the threat there. Asol's going to crash some gold, get some money in his pocket while your bot lane crashes, and you can all rotate to this dragon. Do they do it fast enough, though? Jax is moving down. I think that this is going to be a full-on brawl.
Yeah, this is dangerous because Aphelios does have purple and white. Not ideal gun rotation for a fight, but Fizz does miss his ultimate. Diana's able to secure the dragon, but Aurelion Sol does fly right in. You have a nice Diana R pulling them in, but unfortunately not quite enough damage to finish off Crunkfish. Meanwhile, you have Lil Sejong. They're chasing down Elena Uwu, and you have a nice Seraphine R, but I don't know if it's enough. It looks like the Fizz just barely survives. So, I don't know, Alf got the dragon, but they lost 4 members for it.
Yeah, it's one of those, was it worth it? You got Trag, great. You're getting good damage top. Darius might actually even get that tower. He's got some damage at the W reset to be hitting these. I don't know if he's able to finish it off or not. I'm not sure how much he left it at. But you get a couple platings back bot. We'll see how the gold shakes out. There's definitely a gold lead that was grown, right, for the Frogs. But again, it's like another 500 gold they got all said and done. Well, maybe, yeah, about 500 gold or so. Not, you know, really good value for losing a second dragon. Almost losing top turret here. But, you know,
Looks like Fizz setting up a dive here. He is bot, and he stopped the
They got 4
Seraphine
here.
reset. They force Aphelios to go forward, and the Caitlyn is able to take down Aphelios. That was a nicely executed dive. And it looks like, are they gonna?
for another one here? Yeah, Seraphine's not getting out.
Yeah, this looks really difficult for the Seraphine. She doesn't get any value from her double E, unfortunately, and the Zinza is able to walk away. And does the first turret go down? I don't know. Darius is in a lot of danger here. He does clear the wave, though. In a 1v4 situation, he picks up the counter kill on the Xin Zhao while he goes down. Fizz gets executed. That is tragic.
Tragic, but good. Better the execute than the kill onto the Darius. That would have been a really ugly lose 2 in a 4v1 dive. He's still going to be doing a good job here. I don't think they're able to kill this tower, actually. Diana could go top and finish that one off if she just moves over quickly.
Yeah, that's a
Hey,
nice
keep autoing
Aurelion
the tower.
ultimate.
Keep autoing the tower. Finish the tower. What are we doing? The tower was killable. She wasted precious seconds. She had 4 autos she could have woven in there, taken the tower, and then still threatened the kill. But instead, they're forced to walk away because she just didn't commit.
Yeah, that could have, I think, gone a lot better if Caitlyn had finished off the tower, and then they turned and killed the Aurelion Soul there. But we have some more action going on here in the topside jungle. You have Gummy Boy. They're able to take down Zeph, and you have Lil Sejong. He got the reply kill after Zinzao goes down.
Bad use of the ward there.
no.
Unfortunate.
Oh, but does he?
Oh.
Oh, he almost hex gated out. That would have been the outplay of the century if he managed
Would
to.
have, but just constant fighting. 19 kills at 15 minutes. They have 19 kills. The Frogs came to play this game. Backs against the wall. They wanted all the smoke, and now they're up 3k gold, and they're gonna get this bot tower. But can they get it before Darius gets top tied? It's gonna be a close one. She only needs 3. Don't wait all the ward. Don't waste your time. All right, she gets it. Very good. Very good.
Just barely. First turret going to the Funny Frogs. Meanwhile, Darius over for Alf is able to pick up the top tower. So, I don't know, all in all, the gold deficit is a little over 3k. I don't know, how if you're Alf right now, what are you looking to do?
Let's see, what soul are we playing on? Hex. I'm looking for this next dragon. I'm gonna light contest. I'm showing up, letting them know, hey, you don't get it for free, but I'm also not taking a fight, right? We scale. I'm not super worried. You can have 1, okay? Because that just gives me really 10 minutes or 5 minutes to just keep scaling. Is it a danger? Yeah, you don't want, 1 is, not ideal, but if 5 minutes of buying time is, I'm just going right for a fight.
We have a fight, Gummy Boy, it looks like he's getting caught out. You have Zev going on the backline with a nice Diana R. Although Jax does show up to the fight, and looks like they're going to take down Darius after killing the Diana. You have Aphelios kiting back, but Aurelion Sol is here.
He's on
He
the flank.
does-
He has no ult though.
Yep, Aurelion Sol does have his ult, though, and Aphelios walks forward. A nice stun onto the Fizz, but he's able to flash away to prevent himself from taking that extra second tower shot. and possibly going down. Oh, you have
Acel's
Jax
getting
going
dove.
forward. He just goes down. That is a lot of damage from the Caitlyn and Jax.
Yeah, they are. This Caitlyn doesn't look like she's going lethality. She's going full ADC. She's got that Storm Razor first item with the BF in the wings, thinking IE second there. There's pings on the dragon. They want this. Acel's dead. Does not have TP either. So looks like this dragon might be going the way of the frogs. But they're not very friendly. They are bullying right now.
Yeah, these are quite the opposite. They are not the friendly frogs that I guess Alf had hoped that would show up today. They are really putting in a lot of work here. Throwing haymaker after haymaker, just constantly diving and putting Alf under a lot of pressure. But I do like that Alf doesn't give the drag for free. They go top lane and they take the Herald, which
Good
is
use there.
great for slowing down the tempo of the game a little bit.
Yeah, I think if you're the frogs here, you really if you wanted those Herald, that's both of them. I think that went over towards Alf. So, you know, it really helps you snowball when you have that just turret pushing button in the Herald. But right now, if they keep their foot on the gas, they're in a fine spot here. Fizz is definitely gonna pick somebody up. Yep,
Yep,
goodbye.
up Fizz lands his ult onto the Aphelios. Aphelios flashes. Don't flash there, my friend.
Yeah, just take your death with dignity. Unfortunately. Ooh, that Caitlyn one's doing some good damage. There's a lot of fed people, and Jax wants smoke.
Oh, that was so well played by Darius when he was able to get enough slows in. He's kiting so well. And but Jax gets another E up. Does he kill the Seraphine? No, he does not. Shut down going to the Darius. That's a 450 gold there.
That was close, though. He almost got one for it. Zinzad's going forward, though.
Yep. Oh, nice ultimate from the Aurelion Soul just to fly away. Yummy Boy almost going down to tower, but not quite. You have the Braum now tanking tower. It looks like they are looking to kill Diana, but Diana is pretty tanky at this point in the game.
Fizz has another flank, though. Look, they're just going to keep going all out for these attacks, but that top tier 2 is going to go down to Darius Seraphine here. Diana's in danger.
Up,
She's forced to
nice
flash.
Nice flash by the Diana to not get clipped by the Fizz ultimate there.
It is good value there. The gold graph, I'm sorry, gold difference now 4K. So slow but steady increase in it. The frogs have done a good job of keeping their foot on the gas. It's not all the way down though. It's that, you know, minor pedal down. You're kind of in that highway hypnosis stage where the speed's slowly ramping, but you're not actively just flooring it. But if they can keep this up, it's looking good for them. They're gonna have Dragon coming up here soon, in a couple minutes. And once that comes up, if they can win that fight, get that Dragon, maybe segue it into a Baron, they'll be in full control of this game and looking to end it. On the side of Alf, I mean, you need that scaling to come through. Right now, your Acel's 1-5, your Diana's 0-4, your Aphelios is 1-6. You're really behind, right? So this is a really rough spot to be in.
Looks like Diana uses Herald mid to take that mid tower, but you have Xin Zhao finding the angle onto Aphelios with Fizz clipping the ultimate on him as well. This is gonna look a little rough. Up Seraphine, I can't tell if that was just a missed ultimate or if Fizz dodged it.
Fizz did Playful Trickster it. He hit the Playful Trickster before she casted it, but it just stayed up enough to not get hit by it. And now Darius could be in some trouble. He's a little bit caught out.
Yeah, it looks like he might be going down here. You have a nice Aurelion Soul ultimate to take down Gummy Boy there. Darius just is able to flash over the Wolf Pit, not get the healing though, unfortunately. And another kill going over to the Fizz. 9-1 Fizz, legendary.
He is a threat. You and our analysts were right. This Fizz is a monster. He is being dangerous right now. He's completely carrying this team with the help from the. I mean, they're not any slouches. I'm not saying it's a 1v9, but he's doing a lot of work. These flanks have been exquisite. Always finding a good option with his ult. Always setting these fights up beautifully, forcing summoners every time. And he's a big reason why they're up now 4.5k gold. It seems like every fight, another 500, another 500 every single time.
Yeah, he's playing this game very well. And the other thing too I really like is how the Friendly Frogs, they took their no fear, go forward aggression from last game. And they have champions now that can really deliver up with that, with the Fizz. When so
He's
much
got
damage to the
another
threat.
flank.
It's another flank, and the turret is almost dead. They do spot out Eric Bobo there on the flank. He's forced to use his Zhonya's. The turret just now goes down, but it looks like Friendly Frogs are just running over the fight. Fizz double kill. Jax with his Counter-Strike, he's able to land the stun onto the Darius, followed by the Braum stun, and now he
just
dies.
Oh,
Surely
don't
they
back.
go to Baron.
Jax, someone needs to be pushing this wave. Everyone else needs to be on that Baron. Yep, you got Kate Zen. Okay, this is fine. Yep, Jax backs to go stop the Aphelios. This should be pretty easy to take. But Dragon is coming up too, so we'll see. Are they able to get both, or are they going to have to kind of trade this Baron? Not doing it very fast. Timers are finishing. If I'm Alf, I'm going right to that Dragon. Give the Baron. It's a lost cause. Go get this Dragon. Get yourself a soul point. Be a threat.
Yeah, you do have Jax going on to Aphelios. This looks really difficult for Aphelios to play. It is a Jax. He does almost take down the Jax, but Lil Sejong has just enough damage to go. And then you have the full team of FF reset, and they're just booking it to Dragon.
Yeah, that Aphelios, I think he pushed a little bit too far, right? He was doing really well there. He got the tower. He should have left right then. Now you kind of cost your team this Dragon. If he walks away after that first tower, his team can meet him at this Dragon. They can take it. Instead, he takes an untimely and unnecessary death, and they're just going to give up. So this is now a lot of gold going into the pocket of the Friendly Frogs. And as well as their second drag, Hectake Drake is really good for this team. The attack speed on Xin, Jax, and Caitlyn. The cooldown reduction for Fizz, Xin, and Jax. I mean, it's huge for them.
Yeah, and the kill score right now, 9 to 32. 11 kills on the Fizz, 6 kills on the Caitlyn, 8 kills on the Jax. They really came to play here. And it looks like they have another flank. Fizz threading the needle and landing more ultimates on that Aurelion Sol. He does get charmed up, but he has Zhonya's. You have Gummy Boy up going forward. Looks like they might have gone a little too far forward. You have Darius on the flank with the Diana right there. I don't know. Is this this might have been an overstep by Friendly Frogs?
They went a little too deep trying to dive that back line. They got one, but that's a huge 1,000 gold shutdown for Diana. They got a tower, but they gave up 2 kills. 2 for 2. That still favors Alpha, I think, here. They got some really big shutdowns. Got a lot of gold in their pockets.
Yeah, they did lose that mid-tier too, but I don't know, getting those shutdowns on the Xin Zhao and the Fizz, I think are really, really good. It slows down the tempo of the game, but more importantly, it gives Diana a lot of gold, so now she's going to be a lot more tanky front line, and maybe they can do something with it.
Yeah, hopefully she's able to complete her mythic here and become a real threat, but this is the part of the game where the scaling starts to hit. You've got 2 items now on everyone, but oh yeah, she went Jack Show. That's fine too. Only Aphelios and Seraphine are lacking that 2-item spike, but the other 3, they're there. They're capable, right? The Asol is starting to get strong. He's finished his Leandries. Can they find a good angle, or is this Fizz gonna keep just picking them off with these ults? I mean, he's been so clean with them every single fight.
Yeah, currently, Caitlyn is up a full item on Aphelios, but like you said, you have the Aurelion Sol hitting his 2-item power spike, well, maybe soon to be 3. You have, I don't know, 2 items really just all across the board for Alf right now. And I don't, like you said, no more Baron now. If Aurelion Sol can just clear the waves pretty easily. It does look like Sonic the Rock is taking a beating from Lil Sejong. They keep going forward.
Yeah, this Jax is a little far in here. Oh, he's going a little too deep.
That is not good. It looks like we have a disconnect from the Fizz, but they're in the middle of a fight, so it's difficult for them to pause. Triple kill for the Darius, and I don't know. Alf strike back.
This is the problem. The scaling is there, and they're not playing these fights. They just gave up on what was working the entire game, right? Which was the Fizz flanking, the Jax being a menace with the Xin Zhao diving the back line. Instead, Jax was doing something. He was just in the back there on all his own, and he gets punished for it. He gets picked off, then Dare's able to reset and drop 3 hammers, or axes, I should say, down on the opponents. And quick triple kill for him. Now he's huge, 9-7. He's got a full item off that. He had just completed 2. Or he was like finishing up his 3rd. Now he's got 3 full and 2 components. So he's very dangerous.
He's starting to get really strong, and it looks like he might be going for the death stance. He's ghosting, running right at Eric Bobo. He lands the apprehend, does get the slow off. His playful trickster's out there, but you have the stride breaker slow now. Another playful trickster. Fizz is going in, and he gets a lot of damage on the Aurelion Soul. Diana goes in, gets a nice ultimate, followed by the Seraphine R that unfortunately just misses the Fizz, but Sonic the Rock getting the ultimate reset on Eric Bobo there. Looks like they are running up. Caitlyn is able to snipe her own soul with her ultimate. All in all, a 2-for-1. I don't know, these fights are starting to look a lot closer now.
Yeah, Sonic the Rock made the same mistake Lil Sejong did that last fight, which got a little too big. He was feeling a little full. He got I got a triple kill. I can keep going. Went a little too hard. His team tries to follow to help. It's not quite enough, and they get punished for it. And now they might just lose the game, actually.
Yep, that looks like they dive right on top of Phyllis, but Sonic the Rock is back. He does get the shutdown there on the Xin Zhao. And I don't know, they're gonna keep chasing now, it looks like. That was a nice double E route from Saint Malay. Another shutdown going to the Darius.
That was a 1,000 too. Caitlyn was 7-0 up to this point. I think Darius has a chance at being full build at this point. Oh my god, Jax, what are you doing here?
Looks like he's trying to contest, trying to take that red buff, trying to 1v3, but he is just not strong enough. The Diana keeps chasing. He does manage to catch up with his team, but I don't know if that's the right target for your ultimate there, Eric Bobo. It doesn't do a lot of damage. Diana getting a nice amount of damage. Sonic the Rock, legendary, coming in huge, double kill for him. Diana picks up the kill, and that is a Hex Tech Drake for Alf.
No, this Diana's build, Zeph was great options here. The Jack Show and the Demonic with the Bomby Cinder there. A lot of health, a lot of tankiness. Just Eric Bobo couldn't burst him. And that's the big problem here. That Diana stays alive so long, eats so many big cooldowns, and then after that, what's Eric gonna do? He uses full combo. He kind of just has to watch the rest of the fight till those cooldowns come back. Ends up not completing the kill, so ends up dying. And it's gonna be a pretty easy double objective grab for Alf. They grab the dragon, they're grabbing the Baron, and the gold, which was so far in favor of the Frogs, is now cut to only 600 gold.
That was a huge swing in the favor of Alf right there. Great job by them to punish the friendly Frogs overstepping a lot. And I don't know, they got a dragon, they got Baron, they're on Soul Point now. They're in a great position now. It was looking a bit rough, but this Darius just came online and started to take everyone to the guillotine.
The one, a soul.
Oh
Goodbye.
no, Wu just gets caught by the Fizz ultimate.
Just gets assassinated. I was going to say, the one upsetting thing for Alf here is a lot of their gold is on that 14 kill there. He has 14 of their team's 20 kills. Fizz, where are you, my guy? What is this?
Fizz looks like he got a little too overeager. Does he get away? Nope, Darison able to pick up the kill right there. Nicely done by Alf to get their reply kill by an odd pathing that Eric Bobo decided to take.
His team wasn't even in screenshot distance of that play, so not sure what his thought was. Maybe he thought someone was alone, he could get a quick assassination. Unfortunately, he's going to give another kill, and that kind of negates the great assassination he got on Elena Uwu. Because, you know, what you had was a 5v4 with a good threat to push. Now you're just watching as they push you in with this Baron and clear their waves up. But like I was saying, Darius has all the gold that's been made up. Like all, 4,000 it is.
But we have some action going on here. Gummy Boy engaging onto Saint Malay. He does use ultimate to disengage everyone else. He's going back in. Did the Seraphine overstep? I don't know. That's a beautiful Seraphine R to lock up 3 of them. Unfortunately, Brum wasn't there to block it. Nothing comes of it. They're getting some nice damage. That's a nice block on the Fizz ultimate from Zeph there, and nothing really happens. They're able to both disengage the opposing teams without anyone dying. But
Yep, they're
Darius is
trying.
here.
There's 38 seconds left on this Baron. They've got the one cannon minion. They'll have time for that second wave to show up. So they probably will get this tower here. This cannon minion actually probably going to do it all by his lonesome. This minion putting in work, real MVP here. But yeah, these fights are just very messy. I'm not sure what's happening. Both teams making the same mistake of just getting a little too big for their bridges and continuing the fight when they shouldn't. But Fizz has a really nice flank here. Do they want to find it? Jax is in there.
That's a beautiful stun by Jax with his counter-strike, and it looks like they're just barely not able to finish him off. A nice Zanya's by Saint Malay. Fizz does manage to get the Aphelios, but Darius is going wild here. He got the first kill. Can't he get any more resets? Elena Wu has taken down Xin Zhao. You have Diana going on, shutting down the Caitlyn, and Darius flashing forward, taking down the Braum. I don't know, is this game?
They're out of minions. Well, they got 2 cannons there, but they're pretty weak. Someone's going to have to tank the tower for them. Minions are cleaning up. Oh, they got more minions coming. This might actually be a game. It's 30 seconds left. Fizz isn't allowed to back. Darius just keeps harassing him. Yep, Diana is taking the towers here. Taking a little bit too much there, actually. Yep, she's executing.
Looks like that's not so
Yeah,
good.
it's not going to be a game. She trolled it a little bit. Now Seraphine has to run.
But almost got the Hex Gate. Fizz Playful Trickster's over. One-shots Saint Malay right there. Darius is trying to get the return kill. He does manage to pick it up. Ace for them. I don't know. Xin Zhao is up. Jax is up. I don't think he can end the game here. I think
He
needs to
can.
run.
He might actually be in danger. Yep, Zen gets the slow. But I don't think he's going to chase him down. Elena Yuwu coming with the TP, so that will save the Darius. But both these teams, like I said, making the same mistake. We've got a nice little engage, little flank. Let's overcommit and jump forward when the rest of our team isn't nearby. Okay, now you're dead. And that just has happened multiple times now. This dragon, I'm thinking, goes in the way of the frogs, though. The timer is set up almost exactly with the jungler and support, so you have a 4v3. You should secure this, ideally.
Yeah, this is very difficult, I think, for Alf to fight. Maybe Aurelion Sol can get a steal up. Caitlyn gets a nice execute on it with what I assume to be her headshot. So nothing too crazy there. So next dragon is Sol for whichever team gets it. But I'm not sure if the game will last another 5 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like it could, simply for the fact that if I'm either of these teams right now, what I've realized is this game is getting really choppy, right? It is so back and forth. Oh, Fizz is in danger.
Bobo going forward. Look, Diana presses ultimate, forcing Eric Bobo to use his Zanyas. He does Q out onto the Gromp. He's trying to kite, trying to outplay, but he just goes down to Aphelios right there. With Baron
I don't
County,
understand what he's
40
doing.
seconds.
That was the most ridiculous. I don't get it. Like it's baffling my mind what his thought process there was, and he's just costing his team. He's done this multiple times now. He's just going super deep for no reason and just dying for it. After it was such a great start to the game too.
Sonic the Rock though might be getting caught out here. Diana is there to back him up, but this is a very fed Darius, but I don't know if it's enough. He is getting some healing, and he goes into his GA now, but the Aurelion Sol E is just getting so much space, doing so much damage, and now that Jax is down, and Braum is down, and Aphelios is just ending the game. Alf, it looks like they managed to take it. They take it. They take the series 2-0.
Yeah, that's it. What felt like a really underwhelming end for what the last 7 minutes of that game was, honestly. But I mean, they played it well. It was interesting. It was a battle. It was very exciting early. I think they were at one point averaging like 2.3 kills a minute with how aggressive the frogs were being. But you gotta question Eric Bobo's choices there. The last few deaths he had really just head scratchers, cost his team. But it is what it is. Now we're gonna go back to our analyst desk and get a helpful breakdown.
That is the biggest throw I've ever seen in my life. There's really no other explanation for it. Funny Frogs had all the reason to win. Like they had everything in control. They were super ahead. The Darius was the only threat on their team. The Fizz was one-shotting the Seraphine, as I said. He was able to one-shot practically everyone on the team, and they threw it. And they threw it in a way that it's like NA at Worlds. It's probably something that we will lament for a very long time because there's no reason that Alf should have won this game. There was very little room for them to come back. Of course, they always had the late game and everything, but for Funny Frogs was so ahead that it is unbelievable that this was able to happen, and it happened very clearly for what you guys were saying. The Fizz was just playing like if he had 150 kills and could kill everybody, and it's something where you when you're looking at the game and you're ahead and you're strong, okay, I can limit test, I can do this, I can do that. But if I gave not one but 2,000 gold shutdowns already, maybe my limit testing needs to stop. Because essentially, if I'm not mistaken, there was a 12k gold lead that at one point in the game they were losing by the Alpha was losing by like 8 kills still and had a 2k lead from a 12k deficit. Like when you're that ahead, there's no explanation and no reason for you to not just go and close out the game. It's kind of incredible how they were able to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was something, that's for sure. We do have Sonic the Rock in here, the top laner for the winning side. I'm assuming for an interview. Sonic, how does it feel to take the series 2-0?
Pretty good. I mean, they kind of sucked ass. So we played really bad, but fortunately the other team was even worse.
Yeah, it definitely was interesting. So talk me through the idea here. Both your comps and the games were kind of scaling oriented. Was that always the plan? You're like, hey, we definitely feel comfortable if this game goes past 30 minutes that we're going to win this, and that's why you want the scaling?
Yeah, also our ADC, he was like crying. He was begging us to let him play Aphelios. And so we just had to cave and let him play it. But that was a mistake. So I think in the future, we're going to play some more early game comps because I'm not sure Derizen's cut out for these scaling ADCs.
A lot
yeah,
of smack talk. I like it. Did you have any questions for him, Banana?
yeah. Something that I wanted to ask you about in the first game you played Aatrox into Ken. In the second game, you opted for Darius, and the Darius pick was, if I remember correctly, after. It was before the Jax pick. You just blinded Darius. Were you ever concerned about anything that the Funny Frogs could have picked
Uh,
into your Darius?
yeah, Malphite, but we banned that. So I know if he's not on Malphite, he can't really play the game. He's kind of, so-so player. Fortunately, I was correct. So even though I had some blunders, whatever his name is was not really able to capitalize. I think I was down like 6 kills and I was still up in items. So
Yeah, the one question I did have, another one I have for you. So we saw you guys were in a pretty big deficit that second game, but what was in your thoughts the first couple times that Fizz and Zen both kind of was diving 1v3 in some of these fights? There was one especially got a triple kill off of it, where he's just basically at your mid inhib tower, and the rest of his team's at the red buff. What's going through your mind when plays like that are happening? Is it just like okay, we get these kills, let's grab this, or is it more of a just confusion because you don't know what they're doing?
dude, I had no Fizz was MVP for us that game, I think. Every single play, he was just fucking like, I don't even know what he was doing. If Fizz did not play like a buffoon, I think we'd lose that no question. But he just kept on going in. And it worked like half the time because like he dove our top tower and just sat there invincible for like 8 seconds. But it definitely came and bit him in the ass after he, had like 10 big mistakes where he just ended his team away.
Yeah, it
His
sounds
positioning
like
was
you
pretty bad.
guys' check did cash for him. But thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the 2-0. Next week, you guys will be playing the winner of L.com or everyone's off meta draft league. Is there a team you want to see between the two of those, or are you just happy with whatever?
I'm definitely happy with whatever. Both of these teams are kind of weak. We screamed EOD, or no, we screamed L like a few weeks ago, and they were not it. And EOD is kind of a weak team, but I think EOD actually beat L already, if I'm correct.
They might have. If they have, it hasn't updated where I saw it. But either way, thank you so much for joining us on it. Congratulations. You have a good rest of your night.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, folks. Well, I think that's all we've got for you tonight. But thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you both, Banana and Promac, for helping me cast. And Matt and Wookie for producing. Thank you both so much. Everyone, you have a wonderful rest of your night. And remember to tune in the next game.
Night, everybody.
See you all next time.